I'm going to teach you guys how to beat Lord Patryk Laddak. This boss actually gave me a lot of trouble, and I thought it was the last boss just because of how difficult it was being, but the more you see it, the more you see the patterns, it's actually not that bad. A little bit of patience, though, is going to go a long way, so try and have as much patience as you can. So let's get started with the first phase. This one's a little bit more straightforward. You're going to be just trying to avoid the lightning that comes down, which you can see on the ground here. Gives you a clear visual cue that it's coming. Usually I would just run or dash across, that way it would miss me. And it's pretty easy to miss that. So just keep moving, make sure you're on the move, and then once it comes down, go ahead and dash or roll forward. And then when he raises his arms like this, you can anticipate multiple lightning strikes coming down, and then you're going to want to get to the part of the ground that doesn't have any, so you could avoid them. It's pretty easy to do. You can make a mistake here and there, but just do your best to get out of harm's way. And if you do happen to get hit, just make sure you get out of there as soon as possible so you don't take more damage. They also do this move where they shoot out a ball like this, and 4 lightning strikes, or whatever you want to call them, rotate around like this. And what I would typically do is be on one side of it, either down the middle or to the left or something, and then the next time it rotated and reversed, I would go to the opposite side. So you can see here I'm moving kind of back and forth, just trying to anticipate not getting hit and being in the right position. It's kind of hard to articulate, but I think by looking at it you can see what I'm talking about. And more times than not I would be okay, but sometimes I would get hit, and you just want to do your best to not be hit by the second time and third time. The last major move he has that really kind of gave me trouble was this move with his hand. Sometimes I would just be too close and this would get me. This is the one you want to avoid at all costs. So basically just don't be greedy, kind of give some space so you know what to anticipate, and then attack him when you know it's safe to do so. On to the second phase. Now this is the one that gets very tricky. He kind of does the same moves but at an accelerated rate, and it gets more difficult. He also adds some moments where he brings in minions. He has these kind of red rings that happen as well. There's just more going on that you have to worry about. But like I said before, the more you see it, the easier it's going to get. So this move right here, I want you guys to focus on this hand move that comes from the ground. Roll forward when you see this. Do not jump, because the more that you jump here, it kills a little bit too much time and it gives you more room for error. There was a lot of times where I would just habitually jump because it was my reaction. But that got me in trouble because I was not moving horizontally to get out of the way. And that's what you want to do, is go horizontal. So you want to roll forward. That's a big one. If you can get this move down, you're going to be in good shape. Because really, to me, this was the one that was giving me trouble. Also, the hands that go forward, you're going to want to roll away from those. I mean, it sounds easy, but if you're a little bit too close, that's where you can get into trouble. And I noticed that when I was too close, moving and rolling forward towards him actually helped out as well. So you want to just be aware of your position here to either run away or roll forward if you're too close. Another thing you can try to do if you're desperate and you're just in harm's way is do your double jump. So that way your wings will carry you up and you can avoid everything, hopefully. That's a little bit more risky, but like I said, if you're desperate, that's a plan B or C, okay? And same thing goes for these rings that come forward. You're gonna wanna do a double jump over this one, but then you're gonna wanna duck for this one. And it can be difficult. This is what tripped me up at first when I was first seeing this boss. I kept getting hit by these, but the more you see it and the more you do some attempts, you'll get more in a rhythm and you'll be anticipating to either duck, jump, or completely just jump through these smaller ones, which are not as difficult. But again, if you're just too close, you can get into trouble. So creating some distance here where you run to the side of the screen that the boss is not on, you're going to have more room to be able to do your double jump or to duck or whatever you have to do. So try and anticipate when he's going to do this move and get some distance. And then in between these moves, you're going to want to get in a good solid 3 to 4 hits, but nothing beyond that, because the more greed that you have and the closer you are to him, then obviously you're going to be too close when he does attack you with his hands or with the rings or whatever else, and that could really get you into trouble. So try not to be too greedy, have a lot of patience here. You have to just wait for your opportunities instead of trying to make them all the time. Let him do his moves, and then after that, hit him 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 times. But beyond that, go ahead and set up for his next move. In between his moves on the ground, he's going to then rise up and do this, where some minions will actually come up. You're going to want to kill these not necessarily as soon as possible. It's not like you have to do it immediately. So keep that in mind, because he's going to be throwing down some more lightning. You're going to want to watch the ground to make sure you're not getting hit by that. And then also the attacks that the minions do, you don't want to be caught in those as well. So use the area to your advantage. Go back and forth, get some distance if you have to, and attack them when there's a window. Don't be super greedy here. It's nice to hit them at the same time, so if you can do that, do it. But again, you're going to want to watch for the lightning first. You don't want to get hit by that. And then of course, for their attacks like this, you don't want to get hit by those either. So create some distance, move around if you have to, and then get your opening. Also, when he goes up in the air, other times he will shoot down lightning like this, which is pretty easy to avoid. Sometimes you can stay in the same spot and no lightning will hit you, but of course you're going to look for those cues on the ground to let you know where that lightning is going to strike, and you're going to want to get to a space that doesn't have that. Pretty straightforward, but it can be easy to make a mistake here, so just stay on top of it. Don't get lazy. You might be surprised and get hit by something that you're not supposed to be hit by, so just, be aware and make sure you don't get hit by these. And again, it's rinse and repeat. He's going to come back to the ground and do the same similar moves that you've seen before. And you're just going to have to hang in there, hit him when you can, survive those attacks, and then just get it done. And it's really not that bad as it seems. When I first started fighting this boss, I was like, wow, this boss is cheap. I don't like it. I'm dying too much. I don't know what to do. Even though I did, it was like I still felt flustered and frustrated. Like, oh, this boss is so cheap. But the more you see it, the more you learn, and the more patience you have, you're going to get it done. All right, so let me know if this video helped. I hope it did. Tell me in the comment section if it indeed helped you beat this boss. Let me know, all right? Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.